I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
You know, first off, this is a request for Broad Stipe. Thank you so much for the request. Thank you so much to anyone who's requested either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both of those links are down below in the info box. And a few people got some of the higher tiers. That's why they're getting quite a few reviews. And Broad Stipe is one of them. And one of the films he wanted me to talk about was The Perfect Storm. The film came out, it was a big deal. It was based on a true story, and it was a big box office hit. I think it did decent with critics. Now it's a film no one ever mentions, no one ever talks about. Maybe that's just how it is, but to me it's because I always thought the film was fucking overrated. I never have liked this film. I've never liked this movie. Does it have merits? Sure. Some of the effects, yeah, the CGI, it's 2000, the year 2000, so I give leeway to it. There's some pretty good practical stuff with the men really getting their ass bounced back and forth around that boat and the way they shot the waves over and cascading over the boats. And when they're catching the fish, there's a moment where they accidentally get a shark that swims in and they're dealing with the shark, and it's a practical effect to the point that one of the terrorists has to get a fucking shotgun and shoot a big old fucking hole in it. That was a fun scene. I was surprised watching it again how much of that was practical, on a good note. You have a very capable director, Wolfgang Petersen, who did Air Force One, Outbreak, Neverending Story, all films I enjoy. In the Line of Fire. This is one of those films where, okay, the cast, you got George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly, Mary Steenburgen, Taron Allen has a small part in this, Bob Gunton, the warden from Shawshank Redemption, has a small part in this, Christopher McDonald, William Fichtner. The acting's not bad. You don't get much of the characters, because really it's like the first 15-20 minutes is trying to deal with the characters, where George Clooney is the captain of this boat. He's having a bad run where anytime he goes out with his crew, they don't get much fish. The big boss of the boat on land, Michael Ironside, he keeps complaining about it, and that kind of leads to George Clooney wanting to go back one more time, even though people like Mark Wahlberg, who's with Diane Lane, and they need the money. John C. Reilly, who has a decent relationship with his ex-wife and his kid, but he's got to go back on the boat again. Well, he'll miss his kid. William Fichtner and John C. Reilly have a bit of animosity with each other. You have this one guy, the actor is John Hawkes, I believe. I believe he's the guy from Dusk Till Dawn who owned the shop and got a little gunfight with George Clooney and Tarantino. he's the guy who can't get a date, and then finally looks like he's going to get a date, but of course, spoiler alert, everybody dies at the end. And it's not a spoiler because it's based on a true story. And then the spectacle, it was fine for a bit, but even the fucking poster, not just the trailers, but the fucking poster gave away the big moment of the movie. I mean, if that's not a spoiler, I don't know what the hell is. The fucking poster and the fucking trailer gave away the biggest fucking point of the goddamn movie. You see that poster with the boat like this? 2 seconds later, and they all fucking die. And I get I did it. Not every story can have a happy ending. This is based on a true story. It's not like you just twist it around to they all lived. Well, in real life, they didn't all die. I just didn't understand what was the point of telling this story. I think that's the thing, is that you don't get a lot of big character development. Many films I have don't have that. Okay. But I'm sure there's supposed to be some big old story point of this is a story about men facing death. And what do they do when they face death? They had courage when facing death. Oh, great. Reminds me of the fucking Grey. So maybe it's just different cups of tea, different likes and dislikes. What you're into may not be what I'm into, and vice versa. To me, I just had this weird mindset ever since I first saw this back in the day, as these guys were fucking stupid. I get it. But they had multiple times where they could turn back. They had multiple times that they could stop. And they just kept making the wrong fucking decision, which led to their fucking death. You know, George Clooney making the wrong fucking decisions that led all of his men to their fucking death. And I get it. They want the fish because they need the money. But you know what? You can't do shit when you're fucking dead. I'm just in this other mind state that it's not maybe the moral ground or the higher ground or whatever fucking ground, but at least I'm above ground and not 6 feet fucking under. But, well, what about the real people? I don't know if this is how it happened in the real world. I don't know the real story. With a lot of times in Hollywood movies, they amplify stuff. How much is real? How much is amplified? But you know what? If you want to watch that, watch The Deadliest Catch. Watch The Deadliest Catch, which is real, so you're going to get much more of the real thrills and real drama. And yeah, just go watch episodes of Deadliest Catch, and you get more of what you want. And less running time. It just... This whole thing with George Clooney's like push them, we need to go. And of course the men have doubts, and he keeps cussing the men out, and he keeps getting pissed at the men, and he keeps like, fine, then leave, do this, do that. He just became an unlikable fucking character. I did. The guy, he was a desperate individual, and he was desperate to turn around this slump that he was in, but I can't base it on what really happened, because to be truthful, how would they know what really happened on the boat? Because no one survived. So maybe these conversations happened, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But as a movie, I just start to dislike George Clooney. He was pretty much doing, you might as well call it a Moby Dick motif, where he's desperate that we don't go further, we don't go further, we don't go further. Then there's a point where he's like, okay, they caught all this fish, we're going to wait it out. And the other men, no, we got our 60,000 pounds of fish, we need to go back, we need to go back. And then I kind of wonder why they put in this other stuff in it, where you have this one yacht with Bob Gunton and Karen Allen, and it made me go, well, why is it's nice to see Karen Allen. Bob Gunton's a good actor, but why is this whole scene with the yacht even in the movie? I didn't really get that. It's like, why aren't we just following the one ship with George Clooney? Why are we on this side plot, side quest with this yacht? I don't really know. And then you have the rescue helicopter that has to crash. Maybe that's why. It's just they had to rescue them, so they didn't have enough fuel when they tried to get fuel, and then they fucking had the crash, and sadly some of them died too. It's like the idea is sad, what happened in real life is sad, but I don't know any of these helicopter workers and rescue workers, so as a movie, it's hard for me to care, other than, oh, that happened in real life, that's why I care. But as a movie, I don't know these people, I don't know these actors, I don't know these characters, so when they're going through the ordeal, it's hard for me to give a shit other than the morality of, yeah, you want them to survive because they seem like good people, the rescue workers, you want them to survive. But that's the difference between a movie and real life. And like I said, some of the physical stuff is entertaining for a bit, but then it got a bit boring. There's only so many times where the boat rocks and there's a wave, and the boat rocks and there's a wave, and I guess that's why they add some stuff like the shark sequence, which was interesting. And there's some really good technical notes. Wolfgang Petersen is an accomplished director. I mean, he did films like Enemy Mine, for crying out loud. You got people like James Horner, may he rest in peace, doing the musical score. But then when they... Mark Wahlberg, I'm not a big Mark Wahlberg guy. He's not bad in this. Again, the actors were not bad at all. It's not like they were that fleshed out character-wise, but... Would have I liked this if it wasn't based on a true story, if this was just a fictional whatever movie, and they survive at the end, or at least some of them? Maybe, I don't know, maybe. But then it just makes me go, okay, you already know they're going to die, because if you know anything about the true story that's based on, that's what happened. You already know the big fucking point of the movie, because it's on the fucking poster. Not just on the trailers, but on the fucking poster. And that's really the big part of the movie, so parts of the movie is kind of boring. So it does have its notes of technical, acting's not bad at all. I can see why people like the film. It's not one of those, I don't get why people like it. I can understand it. It's just not my cup of tea. It just wasn't for me. And I'll go watch Deep Rising or something. I mean, I know this is shallow. I know this is asshole for me to say. It just makes me go, you fucking idiots. You got yourself killed for bullshit reason. I get it. They wanted the money. I get it. But you can't spend it if you're dead. But I guess that's the thing. Risk versus reward. They took the risk. They failed. Yeah, they failed alright. I don't know how else to put it. That's stupid of me to say, but as I'm looking at it as a movie, it's infuriating for me as well. Maybe the movie's just to be told as a tragedy, or is it meant to be told and made as, I was going to say as a warning, but I don't think that's the case. It's not a survival story, so it just makes me go like, what was the point of telling this story? The courage of this men facing death because of the countless stupid decisions they made. I don't know. Maybe it just isn't my cup of tea. It just isn't my kind of film. People have different tastes. I can't change my taste. It's like you like certain tastes of soda, you like certain tastes of pudding, you like certain tastes of ice cream, and you like certain tastes of movies. I guess it just isn't my cup of tea as a movie. And again, this is a film that has all these actors in it, but it's not really a film anyone really talks about or even remembers. You bring up The Perfect Storm, you go, oh yeah. So it made money at the box office, but did it really make an impact? I don't know. I don't know. Even as a... When I saw this, probably was on DVD or such on the first time. VHS or DVD? DVD probably. Yeah, DVD. I think my reaction was boredom. I just found her... I don't know, just... Maybe because I couldn't get that invested with the characters, and the physical stuff was nice for a bit, but then it kind of was same old, same old, same old. Rain, water, rain, water, rain, water. And there's really no other plot because that's not the point of the film. So I don't know. Just go watch an episode of Deadliest Catch. That's just what my 2 cents, as worthless as they are, happen to be. So I know no one will agree with me, but that's just my opinion on the matter and why I've never really cared about this film. So, sorry, I know it's not much of a review, Broad Stipe. I apologize, but thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.